Season 3 of Squid Games is near, and the trailer has dropped some major hints on how the series will come to an end. Based on what we have seen, there are 3 bold theories for how it could all end. Some are tragic, some are redemptive, and one just might break your heart. And just to be clear, this isn't a trailer analysis video. This is just my take on how the Squid Games might end. Alright, let's kick things off with a theory that's actually kind of hopeful, which is something rare in the Squid Games. Junho and Guard 11 end up being the unexpected duo that helps Gi-hun take the whole thing down from the inside. Here's why this might actually happen. In Season 3 trailer, we see that Junho is walking into the VIP lounge before the big cake is cut. Now that's a key detail. It hints that he shows up early and might be acting alone. And if you've seen the leaks floating around, they suggest that his entire task force has gone and he's the only one left. Then, from the trailers, we can see Guard 11 crawling through the ventilation shaft. She's clearly trying to escape. Rumor has it that she was ordered to kill player 246 by the black square mask. But instead, she tries to escape the island and disappear, maybe even to protect player 246's daughter. So, what if Guard 11 crosses paths with Junho as he's infiltrating the island? They obviously don't trust each other at first, but eventually team up. And she obviously has the insider knowledge and he's got the motivation to finish what he started. Together with the help of Gi-hun and a few surviving players, they launch one big final rebellion. Think chaos in the control room, the masked guards turning on each other, and maybe the VIPs will be dragged into the madness. And yes, it's inevitable that sacrifices would be in the final episode of Squid Games, and the series highly suggests that Guard 11 doesn't make it, and maybe it's even the front man that switches sides. But in the end, the games are over. Gi-hun, well, he's finally done running. In the last scene, we see him in the airport, taking a flight to America to finally be there for his daughter. Theory 2, the hopeless ending. Gi-hun becomes what he hated. Alright, so if the first theory gave you a bit of hope, this one, not so much. This theory suggests that Gi-hun loses, not just the battle, but everything that he stood for. Think about it, he's been fighting to stop the games ever since Season 1. He has risked everything, called out the system, tried to wake people up, and even convinced the O players to vote X and walk away. But what if none of it works? In the trailer, there's this shot, the frontman calling Gi-hun into his quarters. While he's away, the remaining O players make their move and kill the last ex-voter. This could be Namgyu or this could be Junhee. Gi-hun comes back, but he's alone. Everyone who tried to stop this nightmare is now dead, including his very best friend. He wins the final game, but at what cost? And then the front man says, "Your sacrifices have changed nothing. I didn't kill them, they just killed each other. I just made it easier for them." He calls the player trash and says the games are just cleaning up. Then the VIPs, they're not evil, they are just watching the rawest form of human nature. When Gi-hun snaps, the system doesn't need to kill him, it just needs to break him. He doesn't fight back, he doesn't run, he accepts the mask and becomes the next frontman. But the truth hits the audience hard. No one leaves the Squid Games without blood on their hands. Theory 3. The dead end. Gi-hun's final stand. In this theory, Gi-hun doesn't survive. After the 6th game, he confronts the frontman one last time. A confrontation charged with grief, rage, but it doesn't end in redemption or even justice. The frontman reminds Gi-hun of something. "I gave you a choice. You should have boarded that plane. You could have walked away." This is the same plane that Gi-hun turned away from at the end of Season 1. That was the last chance to reclaim his life, his daughter, and his peace. But he chose to fight the game instead. And now, that choice has cost him everything. Whatever plans Gi-hun had, whether it was to expose the games, to destroy them from within, or even rally the remaining players, it all failed. The system was simply just too powerful, too deeply rooted, and too cold. In the final fatal moment, Gi-hun is killed. But there's a silver lining. He dies knowing he tried, and that he resisted until the very end. That he stood for humanity even if no one else did. Now, there's a haunting moment in the trailers, which is the lights shutting off. The frontman checking the control room one last time. This could be the aftermath of Gi-hun's death, a quiet reset. It's a brutal ending, But in a show like Squid Game, where often survival means surrendering your humanity, maybe dying with your morals and humanity intact is the only real victory here. Whether it ends in rebellion, corruption, or death, one thing is clear: no one walks away from these games unchanged. Maybe season 3 will give us justice, maybe it'll give us a heartbreak, or maybe it will remind us that the real enemy isn't the game, but the world that made it necessary. Now, more importantly, which theory do you believe in, or do you have one of your own? Let me know in the comments.